Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, man. So it appears early tracking of the upcoming film Avatar: The Way of the Water, which is the sequel to the first Avatar, which came out around 2009, I think. 2009. Basically, they're doing early tracking, and they're saying that this movie is going to open up with around maybe between 150 to 170 million dollars. Now, you would think in most cases that's big business. But the problem is with this movie, it has two things that could go against it: the budget and the running time. They're saying that this movie reportedly has a budget of $400 million. Yes, you heard correctly. $400 million to make a film. They're saying that this movie needs to at least break in even, that it needs possibly, if not $2 billion, close to $2 billion worldwide. And not to mention that the film has a running time of 3 hours and 10 minutes. At the end of the day, a lot of people do not like sitting in movie theaters for 3 hours, period. It's tough to get through a movie that's well over 2 hours, because those movie theater seats can be really uncomfortable. But I will say that a lot of movie theaters are renovating their theaters, putting leather seats in, reclinable seats. So it's a little bit better. And if you're going to make a movie that long, you should, that should be mandatory. But nevertheless, it has two things going against it: a $400 million budget and a 3 hour running time. So with that being said, this movie, if it doesn't do well, they're saying this movie could be one of the biggest bombs, if not the biggest bomb in history. And if it's on pace to open up at 150 million, 170 tops, that look like this movie is headed for disaster. And you have to wonder what will be the second week drop off. Now, keep in mind, the first movie opened up to $77 million, but it stayed steady. It stayed steady like Titanic. Keep in mind when Titanic opened, when did Titanic come out? I think 97. Because somebody put what year Titanic came out. 97? Because I don't think my son was born when that movie came out. And watching that movie sitting in that theater for over 3 hours, that was tough. And keep in mind, that's when those movie theaters had like those ballpark like seats just made out of plastic. And they're very uncomfortable sitting in there long periods of time. But the thing about Titanic, which was ironic, like I said, Titanic did not open up number one at the box office. I forgot what opened up, but Titanic opened up to like, I think 32 million opening weekend on a $200 million budget. But the thing was, Titanic just kept a steady pace. I mean, that movie just kept making like $30 million every week for like the first two months. And it exceeded its $200 million. Now, Titanic, this day and age, if you add inflation, Titanic probably would have cost like $300 million to make if it came out like right about now. But getting back to Avatar, you talk about $400 million. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it's an interest for a movie like this, because it's just, keep in mind, movies was a little different back then. And I got to admit, when I saw Avatar, I wasn't impressed with Avatar when I saw it. I didn't think much of the movie. I just was like, okay, what they tried to sell you on was these so-called state-of-the-art, mind-boggling special effects. And I didn't find nothing special about that movie. I really didn't. I'm just keeping it a buck. I didn't think nothing was special about Avatar whatsoever. But it made a shitload of money at the movie theater. So, It just goes to show you people's tastes are what they're looking for at that time. But you got to understand, is there really a demand for this? And then you're talking about, 13 years later in between sequels, the temperament is different now for what people, crave or what people are looking for. I think they're, I just, like I said, I just didn't like the movie. I caught on to the subliminal plot, and I just was like, okay, I'm good. But nevertheless, let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.